have our round 2 being shown. We are currently showing some technical difficulties in terms of our live stream. So currently, if it's a little wonky, whatever, we're doing our best. Worst case scenario, you're watching this on YouTube or after we recorded this and uploaded everything. So you'll be most likely watching it through the best quality on that. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, our event today is being hosted in a mall, so
yeah. I mean, we're doing our best. We'll try, and then we'll think of a fix next time it happens. But it's okay. We're going to be starting round 2. That's the best part of this. So we do have Luffy versus Whitebeard for our round 2 match. I know you mentioned it before off stream. I love that Kirby shirt.
Yeah, that was the Kirby shirt. I'm a big Kirby guy.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah, we are going to see some interesting stuff. Whitebeard is a very popular deck in the meta. It has been for a very long time now. What's less popular though is Luffy, and a lot of Luffy lists I've seen are very good at dealing with Whitebeard shenanigans. They're very effective at reducing power, removing characters and stuff, and that's really
yeah. It's a good tempo depth with a little bit of combos available to it, and the whole adding Rested Dawn to characters can give it the power to get over some of Whitebeard's stuff, especially if Moby is out there.
Yeah, the Mobies. And it's another thing too, we don't know yet if this is Strawbeard or like the Straw Hat engine or the Whitebeard engine with Moby Dick in the deck. We don't know yet, and we won't know for a little bit, so that's okay. We'll see how that goes.
Love the alt art.
The alt art
Whitebeard out here. We got the full zoom in.
I love that so much. It's pretty great.
White facial hair. It's white facial hair.
I think they're confirming to make sure that there is 6 life here. I believe.
Yeah, there's 6.
Yeah, I believe there is. I think we're all set. We are going to see the Whitebeard player lose a die. I assume they lost die roll. They are going to go first. Luffy is now on the play to Dawn. Let's see what he does here. We are going to see the alt art Nami.
Right on top of the same art on the mat.
That's actually great.
Oh, man.
That's great. We are going to see a 3-drop Zoro with Rush added to his hand. That it can be good for this matchup, specifically in Luffy, because if they drop a 6k, let's say, and it's rested, you can play the Zoro, use leader effect, attach to make it 6, swing to the 6k, make him lose a card or lose the character. Like that's definitely not bad.
Yeah, he's just getting his tempo pieces.
Yeah, like he's just getting. And you have to be fast too. Like the faster you hit them, the better. We are gonna see 2 Dawn on to Whitebeard swinging for 8k at Luffy. Yeah, Luffy has no other real play.
Luffy takes that. Yeah, man.
Not even thinking about it.
And I'm wondering what's in his hand and why he didn't mulligan.
I wonder. I don't even think it's about a mulligan. I think because if you're Whitebeard and you're going first,
you
don't have a lot of good plays in turn 3.
Yeah, it's true.
You're not having much. So I think we're just not seeing him unless he was stage.
If it's a stage and he hasn't drawn the stage yet.
Exactly. So I think it's less about what his hand being bad and more about
there's the Rush Zoro.
Not turn 2. Yeah, and here's Rush Zoro. We're gonna see that attached. Go to 6, exactly like we said before. You're gonna see 6k going at lead, a little faster on the draw here. And he also has that one more Dawn. He can attach the leaders, swing with that. That's something you can do.
Or chopper blockers.
Yeah, or chopper blocker if he needs. I feel like in this matchup, you want to be a little bit faster.
You want to get rid of his life as fast as you can. Yeah. Don't let Whitebeard get the end game.
So we do see our first card from Whitebeard is the Atmos. That answers none of our questions. So I wonder if he just runs the 4-drop 6Ks. And then again, if it is Strawbeard, you want to run more of the Strawbeard ones or the Straw Hat ones because it's searchable off Nami.
Yep.
So I feel like because it's Atmos, we're not. That tells me that it has Moby Dick stage beard.
I'm definitely with the stage beard. I feel like if he was Strawbeard, he definitely would have mulligan until just to keep pieces together.
If you're turn 1 player, you know it.
Yeah,
for sure. So we are gonna turn it back to Whitebeard here. I feel like at this point, the really big target is yes, you can swing the Zoro, but the thing is, swinging into leader has so much value too because if you're Whitebeard, you just keep punching them in the face.
Yeah, just big bodies down here from Whitebeard and passing. Yeah,
and now we know this is ideal turn 3. If you're Whitebeard stage, you're literally just gonna play a 5-drop. Like there's nothing crazy.
Luffy player is all blinged out and
I wonder how much that must have cost. That's crazy.
That's his white boss Max sent us to the table. He just want to show off the deck.
For sure. So we're gonna see Luffy player. Now another thing you have to remember, the Whitebeard leader is a 6k body, right? It's 6k. So chances are the Luffy player is not going to be able to swing over it without attaching that Dawn, of course, as it won't happen. So he has to really think, what am I going to do to guarantee that my attacks are going through and doing what they're supposed to be doing?
One.
Let's see what he's doing here. We're going to see the Gordon.
Ooh.
Now, Gordon's really good here because he bombs the deck -3, and now he can play Vista, or he can play Jet Pistol. to just remove this body.
There's the pistol.
Yep, there's the pistol. And when you're playing against Whitebeard, my personal recommendation is you always remove their bodies.
Yep.
If you have the ability to just pop them off the board, you do that. That's how they lose.
Absolutely.
Whitebeard needs to generate value. So we're gonna see double 6K swing. This Luffy player is really on point.
He's going at it, man. Wasting no time. A counter of a Marco.
Ooh, dangerous. Yeah, so there's no way this is not. So we're gonna see drop a turn, get the 2 Dawn.
He is in the sweet spot now with 2 life left.
Yep, he's got 2 life, which means all of his Marcos are gonna be, or no, I'm sorry, I just misspoke. His Marco is going to be online to swing in, or to block, I mean, to activate this effect to come back on board and do its shenanigans.
Yep, and also he's in Moby range too, so.
He is in Moby range. I think the big thing here is if you don't play Marco, like you're playing a little bit dangerously.
I think if you don't play Marco, you're almost.
The thing
you
is
better
about,
have good defenses there.
But you need for the end game from mid to end, you need good defense. I
Yeah.
think you need to invest some turns to play Marco versus playing your Whitebeards or your aces and stuff. So I think as of right now, the best thing to do is either play the Marco or just try to get rid of that Zoro to alleviate that pressure.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're really in a bad spot here as White. This is like the exact spot you do not want to be in.
Contemplating. I think he's contemplating that Whitebeard.
Yeah, so this might be if I were him, I think 7K into Zoro, just clear it. Let's just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Guarantee almost to get rid of it. You don't want if you're Luffy, you're not dropping 2 cards to defend Zoro.
Yeah, and
you're almost
he's got no Dawn up for anything, so yeah, I think that's the move.
I feel like that's, and then you just do what you can with the rest of your Dawn.
You just gotta slow down the Luffy, man. He's got too much tempo going right now,
and
you have nothing on your board.
Exactly, and another thing too is if you're swinging into Luffy's life, I feel like it's a little late now because he's at 4 life.
Yeah.
At that point, you're just getting him cards.
Yep.
So I feel like Viper's a very dangerous spot.
It's a tough spot to be in. You can see from our player thinking a lot right now.
Yeah, there's not much you can do about it. The thing is, that's the thing though with these Luffy decks. Most Luffy lists are very geared to deal with Whitebeard.
Yep.
And they just remove their stuff constantly. Like, that's how Luffy decks just perform. Like they just really, really good counters to it. And I feel like that's the kind of the tone I've been seeing.
Yeah.
With the film deck, the film kid deck, and even this Luffy right now is I'm going to answer Whitebeard consistently.
There's a 7 swing.
Yep.
Go into life.
Into life. He is going to swing into life. Try and choose strategy. Nothing wrong with just swinging into life. We are going to see the minus onto the Zoro here, and then we're going to see. Okay, so you managed to get rid of it.
Okay.
Okay, thank God.
All right.
Thank God. We stabilize. And we see the Marco.
He kept the alt Marco to put on the board and countered with the non-alt. All right.
That's literally the most perfect scenario.
All right.
You got your defenses up. You got rid of that thing that was bothering you, and you got to swing at life, regardless of having to swing to that Zoro. That's perfection.
Welcome to the game, Whitebeard.
Yeah. Now he's back in.
You're
he's
in
back in.
Oh man.
Now the question is, are we gonna ever see the stage? Like we're never.
I know.
Like we haven't seen it yet. He definitely doesn't have it in hand. So
I mean, he might not be able to play it last time because he needed all that Dawn to do what he did.
That's true. He didn't need everything.
So he might have gotten his hand late. You know, probably assuming he would get a turn on the draw on the 3 Dawn or the 5 Dawn, but.
We are going to see the Makino come down, giving that Nami 3,000, making it swing for 5K. Now, with leader effect, he can make it 6K. And the thing is, you're swinging with a Nami. Who cares if he swings it back into it? Like,
yeah,
like
Nami can go. Nami's only on play. It's not the Dawn 1 search like.
The only thing I can say about if Nami is swinging here, which now it's going to, right? Is that Makino on board has no legal target to give a 1-drop.
Yeah.
That power. So if you get rid of Nami, Makino is something you don't even need to think about. It is gonna. Wow, that's big. Was that 8K? 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so that's 8K into Whitebeard. I mean,
he's trying to make sure the Marco goes.
Or not even that too. Is if he blocks a Marco, now leader can swing to Marco for no Dawn attached. That's 1. And 2, if Whitebeard even thinks about like taking this,
he took it.
He's at 0. Yep.
He took it. Oh man.
I feel like if you're Whitebeard, you had to take that because unless you're planning to play your 9-drop, there's no value of not taking. There's literally there's nothing there. We're going to see only a 7K swing. I mean, she's going to do something big with that Dawn.
Yeah.
Oh, nope, never mind. So we're going to see, we're going to see 7. So that's 7K swing at leader here. 3 Dawn left after that. We do see a Robin in his hand on the left. I wonder if he's going to slap that down. I wouldn't mind that. The only thing is, if I'm scared as a Luffy player, is I'm slowly running out of steam.
Yeah.
I'm slowly losing, like, my pressure if my things are getting clear.
Yep, that's always the problem going to Whitebeard is that towards this end game, you got to make sure you have your tools to keep going.
Yeah, it's really rough.
I mean,
against Whitebeard, it's so hard.
he's all right now with 3 life build on the Luffy player, and Whitebeard doesn't have that pressure right now. But
yeah, but we are gonna see the Marco block, and then
count.
just discard.
Oh,
use
discard,
effect.
yeah,
discard use effect to bring it back. Rest.
What's he gonna do with it?
I mean, even if you had Zoro, you can't. I mean, you could play Zoro and swing to the Marco, force a card out of his hand, or lose a Marco. That's not bad. What is ideal though, I'm thinking about it, is if he has Robin, next turn he can play something that power reduces that Marco.
Yep.
And now just Marco is no longer a threat.
Yep.
That's good.
I think that's what
that might be ideal, especially because it's 0 life too. I think that's just the most ideal play here. Even if you have the Zoro, it's good, but like Robin might be slightly better. Both are good though. Yeah, we are gonna see the Zoro come down, swing Marco. That's totally fine. Both are phenomenally fine. You get a card out of his hand one way or the other.
Yep.
Get rid of the Vista. And that's another thing too. If he had played Robin, I had another power reducing effect from Whitebeard, and then played Vista, you just wasted your 3.
Yep.
Which sucks. But here we are. All right, going back to the Whitebeard player. Now, interestingly enough, this so funny. This Tama can swing into the Makino and essentially hit for nothing, which is hilarious. Easy clear. But he's got a counter out, trying to save Makino. He needs now. I feel
trying
like
to keep the Nami relevant.
He needs to keep that Nami relevant if he wants to win next. I think he actually. I think that was actually super correct. And for not playing the Robin, he's able to counter with it. So
yeah,
that's great. Now, if Whitebeard wants to answer this Makino or Nami, he has to swing into it. Like he has no choice, or he play Vista or his Seaquake, which is still a giant pain in the butt because you'd rather use that on the Zoro, you'd rather use it on other things and try to board clear here. We are going to see the minus onto the Zoro and the Nami. So now, if he gets rid of the Nami, Makino again is just straight useless.
Yeah, exactly.
So the only thing about that though is that the turn after, if Makino stays, he plays another 1-drop, right? That Makino is now relevant the turn after. So long term, you might want to get rid of Makino, but if you get rid of Nami here, you get like a turn of immunity. You're gonna see the swing into the Zoro. That's not bad.
I mean, yeah, he's just gotta get rid of the bodies.
Yeah, for sure. Just get rid of just clear everything as much as you can. Try and make sure you alleviate the pressure so you can come back long term. Especially with the ace on board, you have that ability to just go, I have a 7k. I'm gonna keep punching in the face. Now the question is, does he swing into Makino or Nami here?
He reduced the Nami.
I think now or life. Okay, so he's actually letting both stay. That's totally fine too. Like if you're confident you're gonna survive.
You gotta put some oomph into Nami to get it over top of the.
Also, that's a huge waste of an attack.
Yeah.
Like on a Nami or Makino. I was really hoping he would, because I can laugh, but that would have been a waste.
Yeah.
That'd been really funny though. I really wish he did.
Why we said words?
He's like, let's just see him do something that's incredibly like resource waste. Another really important note for Whitebeard is that he does have that Dawn up, so he could use that for his radical beams, his guard points, stuff like that. So I'm sure he feels very confident he's gonna.
Yeah, he's in a good spot.
It's just the way Whitebeard is. Whitebeard just will always have answers to swings.
That's why I don't play Whitebeard. I would feel so uncomfortable playing with no life.
Yeah, you can't live that dream. It's super hard. All right, so now he's thinking. I don't know what they're discussing, but I think he's discussing the play in terms of what he can possibly do here, or like what would have happened. I feel like I do that a lot too. I'm like, hey, my opponent, let me tell you information totally irrelevant to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So we are gonna see. I think the big debate here is: do you play anything with this Dawn, or do you keep it up for your guard points? Or Marco swing into Marco swinging into a Nami or a Robin is so good here. If you know you can survive a 15k swing from leader.
Yeah.
Because if you have enough counter for a full on leader swing, then it might be too dangerous leaving the Nami or the Makino up, like just surviving. Like you might need to just clear it, and if you did the math, like it's not a big deal. Rush Luffy would be not bad. I think that the only thing about Luffy is if you play Luffy here, I'm not even sure if you swing with it. Because if you have it stay on board, that has more value because then next turn it's like 16k unblockable.
Yeah.
And it's like, what does it do right now? You're gonna see the 1-drop you do here? I mean, you could
Drop a Nami and hope to grab.
well, you could
more
play
rush.
Gordon. If you play Gordon here, you minus the A's, you swing into the A's, you clear the A's.
Yeah,
like almost,
that's true.
We're gonna do Nami. Okay, that's totally fine.
Look at your options. Yeah.
See what you can do. Nothing wrong with getting a 1-for-1 card, and you get Radical Beam off it. That's the value of Nami. Getting with Nami and Strawbeard too, like just in general, and in Law, you have the ability to grab a Radical Beam.
Yeah, not specifying the character is huge.
That is so good.
It's so huge.
That's like really, really insane, actually. Like it's so not fair.
Yeah, full on. This is getting so interesting. There's a lot of thought in this game right now.
There's so much going on in terms of resources, in terms of what can win me this game. You need to think like 2 or 3 turns ahead, like, and can I survive the crackback?
Yeah, exactly.
Especially like that's just the Whitebeard way. But like in this match specifically, it's like we're seeing the fumes of it.
Yeah.
Like we're seeing them like I need to think like 3 turns ahead just to even survive.
Yeah, even the Luffy right now, he's got to be very careful with his resources,
Exactly.
just to make sure he can keep the pressure and keep delaying Whitebeard and hopefully get something to put you over it. But it's a tough spot right now.
I do not. I really feel so bad for both these players because like the amount of thought you need to put into this match is a lot for no reason.
Yeah, there's not one answer for what you can do.
And
multiple options.
Another thing about Luffy too is if you don't put the appropriate amount of Dawn on leader to swing, if you go like 8K, let's say, because that's normally an ideal number. Like that's the magic number. You're 2K above the leader or whatever you're swinging into. That's awesome. But into Whitebeard, they have guard point. They have like whatever.
Yep.
If you don't put the right amount of Dawn into it, they just go, I lose 1 card, and you just invested 4 or 5 Dawn or whatever much Dawn you put in for this singles.
Especially with Whitebeard right now having 2 Dawn. And for those events right now.
Honestly, what he might just do is just go 15K lead. He might just go like, okay, you're probably gonna survive this, but no, because he's leader effect.
Oh yeah, duh.
Yeah, leader effect make it 15.
There it is.
Yep. So he is still gonna go 14. Yeah,
leaving one
exactly.
open for
for blocker or Nami. We don't know yet. But this is gonna be 14K swing at lead. Like I was saying, like he literally can just go. I go all in. I know you probably survive this, but regardless, I'm gonna make you use your resources.
Taking away everything.
Because now you need to, another thing Whitebeard is when you're playing against it, you need to plan like you to not kill them on the turn, but to try and go for game the turn before, so that now next turn when it comes back to Luffy's turn, he can go right in and try again.
Yep, Whitebeard got out of it. He's got 2 cards in hand now.
Yeah,
so.
he did the math. Like he knew he was surviving.
Yep.
Like it is what it is.
And Luffy still got 1 open for guard point.
Luffy has for Radical Beam.
Oh yeah, Radical Beam. Yeah, we saw him get that.
We saw him get Radical Beam. So we know Radical Beam is in his hand. That's why he didn't go all 15.
Yep.
And he only has 2 really relevant swings. He does have Marco to make it 3 relevant swings if he wants to go for game. But Luffy is at 2 life, right? So he either needs to play a rush piece for to even think about winning, or he needs to connect like all those things with Luffy also having Radical Beam in hand.
Yeah.
Like that's rough. Like I do not feel I feel so bad for the Whitebeard player. Like I don't want to be in this situation. Like it hurts.
A hard spot.
So we are gonna see, so he has to go for game. 7K going into life. I think he just has to go for it, see what he can do, and hopefully win off of this. But remember, he has Radical Beam, like I said before, so it's like
Luffy also has a lot of cards in hand for
this
2K
is
counters.
Not looking good for Whitebeard. Oh, another thing too is he actually is attaching those on Marco. He might not even swing with it, just so that he can survive a potential jet pistol. So again, another thing a lot of players do is, and which you should do at home, always do this. If you're making your characters like 7K, it means if you attack into their life and they don't hit pistol, or if they hit pistol, I mean, you will not be able to KO that character.
Yep.
If you need for like those blockers, like Marco is a perfect example of this.
Yeah.
So even if he doesn't swing with Marco, putting the 2 on it, like chef's kiss.
Yeah, knowing the trigger effects of the decks you're playing is huge.
It's super big. So we are gonna see the 9K swing. Yeah, I think he just put on the Dawn on there just to make sure he doesn't lose Marco. This is gonna be a 9K swing, which means, I mean, it's a little weird in terms of he could have swung leader first, like put 1 on lead, swing for 7, bait something out here. But this is totally fine. It means he has less cards to block the bigger things too. Yeah. So it's totally fine doing it this way. You're gonna see the 9K. Yep, just quick take.
I would take it.
Yeah, me too. No reason not to. Like you are almost guaranteed survival.
It's too big to put all you got to it to counter it.
Especially with like his first swing being a high number, like it either tells you the other swings are coming in bigger, which is not good for you, or they're coming in smaller, which is good for you, and it doesn't matter when wing.
Yeah.
Like you have the defense in hand to deal with either situation because he still has Radical Beam. So it is what it is.
Where's he gonna? It's got to swing Whitebeard.
I think if you're gonna swing with Whitebeard at life, I think you need to make 7K.
Yeah.
Just to put the pressure of, hey, maybe I have a rush piece. Maybe you have to deal with
absolutely.
this. So, but then you might just not need to. Like that's fine too. We'll see though. Another thing to mention, like for swinging with Ace first, he could have just been worried about a Red Hawk in life to minus 10 trigger. So if he had swung with leader first, then they could have been like, okay, here's Red Hawk minus 10 on the Luffy or the Ace.
Yeah.
That would have been lame.
Yeah, definitely.
But then again, can Red Hawk minus 10 on leader? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not a common card to run into.
Yeah, if you do see Red Hawk, it's usually like a 1 or 2 up.
Yeah, definitely.
Like at most. So maybe just not even matter.
I'm the king of running random cards. I wouldn't be surprised.
We are going to see the Sequig getting rid of that Nami, which is really, really big. It means that Makino isn't doing anything.
Yeah, and that's also one last attack for Luffy.
What? He didn't swing with the no swing with leader. Okay.
Trying not to give Luffy a card.
Maybe he's just too worried about some rush pieces. Like right now, if he has what 1 card, 2 cards in hand, he just goes, I play rush piece, I play rush piece, I play rush piece, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, and you win. Like he physically can't survive that. Like really 2 Zoros, and I think let's see math here. Zoro, if he plays Zoro, he blocks with Marcos, plays another Zoro counter, and then bring leader counter. I think if he does have 2 Zoros and manages his Dawn correctly, he does win. Or 2 rush pieces in that same sense, but that's really tricky.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
I think he's going to go for it. Here, unless...
So here's first rush piece.
Okay.
Rush piece number 1. If he puts a 7, okay, so that tells me he only has the 1. Because you want to conserve that Dawn for Zoro swing. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. That's the same.
I mean, you got to bump the Zoro to get over the 6K.
Right,
so...
but the amount of Dawn you're investing, if you're intending to make this a 7K anyways, it makes no difference.
Yeah, it's true.
But another thing about this Luffy is that he can bypass the blocker with Marco. If he just goes all in on this Luffy, it's gonna go. He can just go for game. 2 cards in hand, there's a good chance he just wins. This is gonna be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11K.
Yeah.
If he has Radical Beam and a 2K, he just survives it.
Yeah.
So honestly, I think he needs to put that last Dawn onto Luffy, because then the only way Whitebeard survives is if he has a Radical Beam and a guard point, which is super, super unlikely. So I think I'd go for it. So that might make the difference between winning the game or not. With 2 cards in hand, I think I'd go for it.
Yeah, I think
this is a really hard decision. I feel like it's safer to technically leave the 1 because then it's like Radical Beam.
He's putting them all in.
But he's doing it. He's going all in. This has to be a guard point and a Radical Beam. Here's Radical Beam. And it's not enough. So that should be game for the Luffy player. He just goes home and takes it. Good for him. Now he's showing his hand. So we're going to see 2 Whitebeards. He said Radical Beam. He was totally fine.
Yeah,
he was totally fine. With 1 life, he was not dead.
Yeah.
The only thing is that if he didn't have the beam, oh my god. If he did have since he didn't have access to beam, it did mean his hand was significantly worse.
Yeah.
But he also had the pistol life.
Yeah, no, the rush for Luffy being able to get around the Marco blocker. Huge.
So huge.
Oh.
And with the leader effect to be able to give it that extra Dawn, that rest of Dawn, is so big for this matchup.
That was great.
So definitely congratulations to our Luffy player. That was phenomenal.
There was a lot of thought there between both players to try to get there.
Whitebeard
guy hung in there, and he made it a game. It was a close one.
That's crazy.
That was a good one.
That was really funny. I loved everything. That was so great. Oh man, I loved the Luffy and the end swing. I was like thinking too. It's like, oh, if you go double Zoro, like you can do this, and you only have 2 cards in hand, you get 3 hits. It's like, no, don't even bother.
Yeah.
You just have to go Luffy.
I was hoping for the Luffy, man. It's such a good answer to the Marco and the Whitebeard engine.
The other thing crazy about this match too is that had the Whitebeard player had 1 extra card in hand, just 1, it means the Luffy player is such a more dangerous spot to go all in like that.
Yeah.
Because all he needs is a 2K, 1K. So it's like, it is what it is.